Greetings, dear listeners. Before I begin my story, a story of theft disguised as a favor, it's how I finally reclaimed not just an object, but my own legacy. I ask for your support. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the like button. It helps stories like this, stories of quiet family betrayals, be heard by those who need them most. And write in the comments what city or country you are listening from. It always warms my spirit to see this community of kindred souls spread out across the globe. And now, enjoy the story. I handed my cousin the pocket watch with trembling hands. It was our great-grandfather's solid silver engine-turned case, a monogram worn smooth by a century of touch. It had ticked through the Great Depression, World War II, and my own grandfather's final days. It wasn't just a watch, it was a heartbeat. My cousin David was getting married. He came to me, emotional, sincere. I want to feel connected to the family, he said, to carry something of our history with me when I stand at the altar. Just for the day, I'll give it right back. I hesitated. The watch lived in a felt-lined box on my dresser. I wound it every Sunday, listening to its steady, faithful tick. But he was family, and his eyes were so earnest. Of course, I said, just for the day. The wedding was beautiful. I saw the watch chain gleaming against his waistcoat. I felt a pang of pride mixed with anxiety. It's just for the day, I repeated to myself. The day ended, the week passed, then a month. I texted, "Hey, hope you're settling into married life. Whenever you get a chance, I'd love to have the watch back." He replied, "Oh my God, totally. It's safe." Just crazy busy. Soon became a ghost, a phantom in our conversations. At family Thanksgiving, I asked gently. He patted my shoulder. "It's in a safe place. Don't worry." 2 years later, at a family reunion, his new wife posted a gallery of their renovated home. There, on a bookshelf in their minimalist study, styled between a geodesic globe and a vintage camera, the pocket watch, a decorative object, a prop. I called him. My voice was calm, thin. "David, I see the watch. I need it back now." He sighed, a sound of profound inconvenience. "Look, it just fits the aesthetic so perfectly there. You weren't really using it. It's honoring the family in a new way. Can't you just let it live here?" He wasn't borrowing. He wasn't forgetting. He was curating. And my heirloom was now part of his collection. This is the Stolen Heirloom. And if you think family is a bond of trust, you haven't seen your history become an accent piece in their home. The theft doesn't begin when they fail to return it. It begins in the sacred, vulnerable moment of the ask. They come to you with a story, a special day, a wedding, a graduation, a milestone. They speak of legacy, of continuity, of feeling anchored. Their request is draped in the language of shared blood and memory. They don't want to own it. They just want to borrow its magic, its gravity, for a few sacred hours. You are the keeper. You have cherished this object, maintained it, understood its weight. It is a quiet responsibility. And now, someone sees its value. Not its monetary value, but its soul value. They are speaking your secret language. It's intoxicating. You feel a surge of familial pride. This is what heirlooms are for. To bind, to connect, to be alive in the present. You are not a miser locking treasure away. You are a gracious steward, allowing the legacy to breathe. You hand it over. The transfer feels significant. You give careful instructions, how to wear it, how to wind it, what to avoid. They listen intently, nodding. Their gratitude feels deep, real. You feel like a bridge between generations. The event passes. It was beautiful. You saw the heirloom in its glory, doing exactly what you'd hoped, ennobling a moment. You wait patiently for its return. The first few days, you expect a thank you text with a photo of it safely in its box. Nothing. A week. You rationalize they're on their honeymoon, they're exhausted, they're busy. You send a gentle, cheerful nudge. Hope the day was everything you dreamed. When you're settled, let me know how to get Grandpa's watch back. The reply is breezy, dismissive, absolutely swamped, but soon becomes the void where your trust evaporates. You see them at other events. The heirloom is never mentioned. You bring it up, casually, nervously. Your request, which felt so righteous at the start, now feels petty in your own mouth. They react with a hint of annoyance. You're bothering them about a thing? After their special day? The hook is the slow gaslighting shift in a narrative. Borrowing becomes possessing. A favor becomes an inconvenience. Your cherished heirloom becomes, in their tone, that old thing you are obsessed with. Then the sighting. In their home. Not in a safe, but on a shelf. Not cared for, but staged. It has been absorbed into their decor. Your family's heartbeat is now a piece of their aesthetic. When you finally confront it, the betrayal is crystallized in their new language. It's better here, where people can see it. You were just storing it in a drawer. It means more to me now. Can't you just be happy it's being appreciated? They have rewritten history. They are not thieves. They are rehomers. They are not disrespectful. They are honoring it better. Your role as keeper is recast as neglect. Their act of conversion is framed as rescue. The hook isn't the loss of an object. It's the hijacking of your narrative. It's the proof that your sense of sacred stewardship was a naive fantasy to them, a temporary story they used to gain access, then discarded. They didn't want to share in the legacy. They wanted to acquire it, to consume its meaning and spit out the husk as a conversation starter. You gave them a key to the family vault, and they changed the lock and billed you for the new door. The unraveling is a quiet civil war fought in the gray zone of family politics. First, your role in the family distorts. You become the one who cares about stuff. Your legitimate hurt is minimized as materialism. It's just a thing, they say. Are you really choosing a thing over family? Your deep spiritual connection to the heirloom is flattened into greed. You are made to feel shallow for caring, while their aesthetic appropriation is seen as love. You start to eye every other heirloom in the family with paranoid suspicion. Who has grandma's vase? Who has the wartime letters? Are they safe? Or are they also being slowly absorbed into someone else's Pinterest board? The entire family legacy feels precarious, contingent on the whims of the most entitled relative. Gatherings become minefields. You sit in their living room, and your eye is drawn to it. Your heirloom, displayed like a trophy of their taste. You have to smile while your stomach churns. Other family members might notice. "Isn't that your watch?" they whisper. You have to downplay it. "Oh, David's just borrowing it for a while," to keep the peace, even though you know the truth. You are forced into complicity with your own robbery. They weaponize appreciation. They become the heirloom's greatest champion in public. "This watch is my most treasured possession," they'll tell guests. the family history it holds. They steal your stewardship and perform it as their own. They get the social credit for being deep, connected, sentimental, while you, the actual keeper, are silenced, afraid to seem possessive. Your own memories feel contaminated. You think of your grandfather, of winding the watch. Now that memory has a grotesque sequel. Your cousin using it as a bookend. The purity of your past is poisoned by their present. The family fractures into sides. Some see the injustice and are quietly appalled, but say nothing to avoid drama. Others sigh with a thief, buying into the narrative that you're being difficult. Let it go. It's making everyone uncomfortable. You are isolated. Your pain, the inconvenient splash of water on the family's peaceful facade. The most insidious part, the erosion of your own legacy. An heirloom is a physical link in a chain. By severing that link, they have broken the chain for everyone who comes after you. Your children, who you taught to wind the watch on Sundays, will not inherit that ritual. That heartbeat will stop. The thief hasn't just taken an object. They have taken a future memory from your descendants. They have made your branch of the family tree seem rootless. The unraveling ends with a haunted relationship to all your belongings. You look at your own cherished items and wonder, if I die, who will truly care for this? Who will see its story, or will they just see a style opportunity? You start to think the only safe legacy is one that is buried with you. You are left as a ghost in your own family history, watching your past be used as an accent pillow in someone else's present. The awakening doesn't come when you see it on their shelf. That's the insult. The awakening comes in a moment of stark, symbolic clarity. For you, it's at an estate sale. You're walking through the silent, empty rooms of a stranger's life. Furniture is tagged. Dishes are stacked. In a dusty glass cabinet, you see a collection of military medals. Next to them, a beautiful, tarnished silver locket. A man, the grandson, is hustling, talking to a dealer. Yeah, take it all, he says, waving a hand at the cabinet. Nana loved that stuff, but what am I going to do with it? No real value. You watch as the dealer bundles the medals, the locket, the faded photos behind them into a Ziploc bag. $50 for a lifetime of pride and love. In that moment, you don't see the stranger's grandson. You see your cousin. You see your own heirlooms in that Ziploc bag of the future. Not because you don't value them, but because someone else will decide they have no real value. Your cousin's appreciation is just a slower, more stylish version of this estate sale. He is the dealer, and your heirloom is already in his mental Ziploc, priced for its aesthetic weight, not its soul weight. The veil lifts, cold and clear. This was never about a watch. This is about the difference between a lost legacy and a lifestyle. You are a link in a chain. You think in terms of before and after, of then and a when. Your duty is to receive, honor, and transmit. They're a point in space. They think in terms of now and looks. Their duty is to acquire, style, and refresh. Your heirloom was a sacred torch. To them, it was a stylish flashlight, useful for the mood lighting of their current moment, disposable when the batteries die. The awakening is the profound understanding that you have entrusted a centuries-old flame to someone who sees only a convenient candle. Enough, you whisper to yourself in the stale air of the estate sale. You are done offering your links to people who see only decorative shapes. Done explaining the chain to those who only understand the charm on a bracelet. You feel no more rage at your cousin, only a vast, quiet certainty. You will no longer lend the torch. You will simply hold it higher so the right eyes, the eyes that see chains, not charms, can find their way to it. The fight back begins not with a lawsuit, but with a solemn vow to be the unbreakable link, to let the dead ends of the family tree fall away, while you nurture the living branch that understands what growth truly requires. The fight back is the meticulous, unemotional securing of your legacy. It is about building a fortress of intent around what remains so that no borrowed sentiment can ever breach it again. Phase 1, the immediate reclamation and inventory. The direct reclamation. You send one final, unequivocal written message, text, email. David, the watch returns to my possession by date 7 days away. I will pick it up at 5 p.m. on that day. No need to reply to confirm. You show up. You do not debate. You do not accept excuses. You take what is yours. You walk away. The legacy inventory. You document everything, every heirloom in your care. Photographs, descriptions, stories, provenance. You create a digital and physical archive. This is now the official record. Sentiment made fact. The absolute moratorium. You establish a personal, non-negotiable rule. Heirlooms do not leave your possession, ever, for any reason. Wedding? They can take a photograph of it, or you will attend and hold it for them during the photos. Borrowing is a dead concept. This prepared script. I'm so touched you feel connected to this. My stewardship requires it to stay in my care, but I'd love to share its story with you. You offer the story, never the object. Phase 3, the legal and practical fortification. The written designation. In your will, you name a successor steward, not just an heir. This is a person who has demonstrated the same philosophy of care. You detail the responsibilities. You attach your inventory. You make your wishes legally cumbersome to ignore. The physical security. Safe deposit box, fireproof home safe. The heirlooms have a designated secure home. They are not on display in common areas where guests can covet them. Their visibility is a privilege you control. Phase 4, the family communication shift. You control the narrative. At the next family gathering, you might casually say, I've been working on preserving the family history, documenting all the stories behind Grandpa's watch, Grandma's rings. It's so important these things aren't lost or separated from their stories. This publicly frames you as the archivist, not the owner, making any future request to borrow seem like a request to vandalize the archive. Create shared, non-object rituals. You proactively shift the focus. Instead of passing around physical things, what if we all contribute to a family memory book this year? You offer new, safer ways to connect that can't be stolen. Phase 5, the detachment from fairness. You accept that other family heirlooms will be lost, sold, or mismanaged. That is not your jurisdiction. Your fight back is to ensure your link of the chain is inviolable. You grieve the losses, but you do not set yourself on fire to keep the whole tree warm. You tend your branch with fierce, focused love. The fight back is won not when you get the watch back, though you must, but when you can look at it, hear its steady tick, and feel not anxiety about its future, but peace. Your stewardship is now active, not passive. Your legacy is no longer a request for others to behave well. It is a plan that operates regardless of them. Bus, the transformation and your blueprint, lessons, plus actionable steps. You do not emerge less generous with your family. You emerge as a sovereign archivist. Your legacy is not a community pantry. It is a curated museum with very strict rules of engagement. Your transformation is from passive keeper to active steward. Your love for the past is now protected by the procedures of the present. From this, you draft the Unbroken Chain Protocol. Protocol, Clause 1, the Stewardship Council. Identify formally your circle of stewards. These are the 3 people in your life, family or chosen family, who understand legacy over lifestyle. With them, you create a shared understanding. They are your backup, your witnesses, your successors. Everyone else is a guest, permitted to view and listen, but not to touch. Protocol Clause 2, the Physical and Digital Vault. Physical. Heirlooms are stored securely when not in use. Their everyday display is a conscious choice, not a default. Digital. Create the archive. Photos, scan of documents, video of you telling the story of each piece. Store this in the cloud with shared access only for your stewardship council. This separates the story from the object, safeguarding meaning even if the object is one day lost. Protocol Clause 3, the no borrowing, only beholding rule. The rule is absolute. You offer alternatives. For a special event, I will be there with it. You may hold it while I am present for photographs. For connection, let's have tea, and I'll tell you the whole story behind it. For appreciation, here is a high-resolution photo you can frame. Protocol Clause 4, the legal anchor. Your will contains a legacy clause. It bequeaths heirlooms with conditions. I bequeath X to person, on the condition they agree to its care as outlined in the attached stewardship guidelines, and to pass it on to the next named steward. It gives the executor power to reclaim the item if the conditions are blatantly violated. Protocol Clause 5. Become a storyteller, not a curator. You actively, generously tell the stories. At holidays, you say, "Did I ever tell you about how this quilt survived the flood?" You make the meaning so vibrant and public that the object itself becomes almost secondary. The story is the true heirloom, and that can be given freely, endlessly, and cannot be stolen. Protocol. Clause 6. Start a new invulnerable heirloom. Begin a tradition that cannot be appropriated. A shared email address where you and your children write annual letters to the future. A time capsule to be opened in 50 years. A planted tree. Invest your sentimental energy into legacies that are participatory, growing, or intangible. Protocol. Clause 7. The sovereignty of stewardship. This is the core law. Your duty is to the legacy, not to the feelings of those who would dilute it. A no is an act of love. Love for the past and love for the future. Your guilt is the ghost of a broken system. Let it haunt those who broke it, not you. You are no longer wounded by the stolen watch. You are fortified by it. The stolen heirloom didn't make you possessive. It made you purposeful. You lost faith in casual family promises. You gained, sacred operational system. For honoring what matters, go and be the unbreakable link. Let your steadfast care be a beacon. Those who are meant to be future stewards will be drawn to its light. Those who only see a shiny object will eventually lose interest and wander away. Your legacy is not for them. It is for the chain that endures, one faithful, unwavering link at a time. I appreciate you listening. Now, write in the comments if you have had similar situations. Could you act as decisively as our heroine? If you liked this story, if it touched the strings of your soul, please like this video. It is very important to us. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new stories. We have many more stories in store about strong people in difficult fates. And of course, share this video with friends. Perhaps someone right now really needs to hear exactly these words. You owe nothing to anyone except yourself. Did you like the story? And which city are you listening from? Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments on the story. On the screen, you can see 2 new life stories that I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story with love and respect.